I didn't know it was going to mute us. I was like, okay, I'm going to hit this 30-second thing, and it's like, your mics are muted. What's up, guys? How we doing? Who is here? I don't have a read yet.
Nice.
What's up, Jerry? Vinster, what's up, man? I have not seen Vinster in a while. What's up, Robert? My brother's over here, so his dog is like up in my office messing with me. And he's a licker, or she's a licker.
He's got 3 dogs in your house right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And his sheds, which is awesome. And only shits in my backyard. So yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better. And yeah. I get to watch the dog like next week or 2 weeks from now. Stoked.
Yeah.
So much poop scooping. Hey Lisa. What's up, Ken? Gretch, Samantha, man, people's just rolling in. We don't know where Jessie is. She has a problem telling time. Apparently, we try to tell her the right time, but I don't know if she's gonna get it. So she'll be here eventually. Yeah, Vincer, that's right, brother. And by the way, guys, this is Maker's Therapy. I will be doing a live tomorrow down in the shop. With like lasers and whatnot. Just hey Ken, I have a question for you. Shit. Had a question for you. Oh, I have a question about a 3D printer. 1 second. Is the Elegoo Neptune 3 Max any good? And Venture, yeah, man. Good to see you, brother. And definitely smash the like button. We like smash it right here. It's fun. It's a good time. It's a I think it's a resin. No, it's a filament printer. Papa, Missouri. I know I've asked you this. I probably asked you this every time. What part of Missouri? So here's what I did. Okay. I'm rebuilding my desk again because that's what makers do, right? You can't get this shit right. No, when I built this desk, I made it out of walnut plywood because I wanted it to just be flat and good and all that stuff. And when I finished it, I just, you know what? I got lazy with my finish is what I did. And I just used like not a butcher block finish, but like a natural wood finish, not thinking at all how hot my CPU and like some of my camera equipment would get on it, and it's totally messed the top of the desk up. I could probably recover. She's not up here, bud. I could probably recover the top of the desk. So I did put a thing out on Instagram the other day, and what I was thinking about doing is just adding like and the other thing is the desk is too small because I'm a shit whore. Shit whore. I have to have shit everywhere. Stuff. Don't allow size. And it's smaller than it's like 55 inches or something like that. I don't even think it's that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this L on the side. So I designed this beautiful L. And then I started looking at it and I'm like, this is also a stand desk. So like this L would not be supported. It'd just be sitting out on the side. And I'm like, I can't, I'm sure that I will stand up one day. There will be something too heavy on the L and it's going to fall over on top of me. So I'm building a new desk.
Nice.
So I milled all the pine today and I'm going to make it, it's going to look, not intentionally, but when I drew it out, it's going to look kind of like a PlayStation controller, like that shape. Like it's gonna like have the angles and the little cut in. So that's what I did today. And I forgot how much I love working with pine and all the splinters. And Jessie is here. Well, there's Jessie's boobs. Oh, there she is. Hi.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi. I forgot I had
You
to
made
go
it.
on Chrome for this.
Oh, I was like, we told her the right time, guys. We swear.
You did. You did. I'm here.
Let's see. So, Jessie, how you doing?
Oh, I mean, you probably don't.
What'd you do today? What was Did you work, or did you make her work?
I did make her work, but also not a whole lot, honestly. So I went in the shop for a couple hours, and then that was kind of all my mental capacity had for me today.
Oh.
So yeah.
How's the renovation going?
Yeah, which is we talking kitchen? Did you start on something else?
No, I have no more projects.
No.
No, I've been working on that record cabinet, and working with maple and fighting with staining like a closed grain hardwood. And I was actually thinking about you, Nick. So I was like, I should make a YouTube video about this. Like, have you ever tried to stain hard maple? Don't do it.
Yeah, don't. No, no.
It's terrible.
No, not a good time. You'd be better off dyeing it.
I mean, or burning it. I don't know at this point.
Yeah, but it's maple doesn't burn all that great.
I just want it out of my shop.
I just want to light it on fire. I don't care how.
I don't care
it's
how.
Go.
Light it on fire. It's fine. I'm good at that.
So, Chris, what are you working on?
Right now, working on a conversion van for shop dog vans. So today I was working on bending the maple shiplap that for the ceiling. So it pretty much took up a lot of my day.
So are you doing the entire reno, or are you just doing are you doing the entire interior of the van, or is like?
Yeah. I helped do the entire interior of the van from the cabinets to the countertop to like shower install, just a little bit of everything.
Very nice.
What are you working on, Nick?
So it's just talking about. So I was gonna redo my desk, and I started to I was gonna add to the desk I have, and then I just was like, I had a senior moment and just went out and bought a bunch of pine and milled it all today, and I'm gonna build a new desk tomorrow.
Did you figure out what to do with all your cords?
No. Well, yeah, kind of. Here, let me show you if I can find it. Bam! Oh, bam! No, the biggest thing is, I guess I wasn't clear about my chords, and I understand why people wouldn't get what I was talking about my chords. Thing is, I have this huge thing of chords. Some of them I probably don't ever need again, but people send me a lot of things that I may use it once or twice, and then they go someplace, like they go in a closet or something. I may use it again, so I don't want to throw that stuff away because I may need the power cord to it or whatever. So I can't just everybody's like, I just donate that stuff, and I'm like, well, that's great, I would love to, but I don't want to just do that. So I am gonna strap everything up nice and neat and label the shit. And so yeah, I've got a 2 or 3 part. Well, it's gonna be 3. It's gonna be 3 videos, but it's all not organizational, but kind of like productivity and whatnot. Like the desk is gonna be. I've designed the desk to be a little bit more productivity oriented. I don't know if I'm gonna do a whole video and put my cords away, but maybe.
I mean, you could.
Slow motion.
No, I was looking, and you know what? You can find a million videos on cable management, which is not what I needed, but cable storage. Man, you go down a weird rabbit hole there, man. Like, just these guys are like, I make this honeycomb, and I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. Out of toilet paper rolls. No, not doing that. No. That's rank and disgusting enough. And then but I have a bunch of cables that like I don't use unless I travel. And so I think what I need to do is kind of separate some of that stuff out because it's just all in a drawer right now. Previously, it didn't have a drawer; it was just laying all over the place. So.
You got out of your maker slump so you can build a drawer.
Yeah, I mean the maker slump wasn't. That was more of a. I just like. I don't want to do anything that day. Like I couldn't get motivated to do anything that day. I haven't been in like slump. I've actually been like super productive, probably bad productive. Well, bad, but it's just bad productive. I don't know. Like overly tinkery. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Probably bad. Bad. Yeah. I'm sure the wife's going to find some things and be a little upset that I fixed them.
You fixed them.
Yeah. Let's see, but yeah, I mean, like other than that, I have for being sick, I've been super productive since the first of the year, except for like 2 days. So. Still feeling it a little bit, but like there was a day where I couldn't get off the couch. I just couldn't move. I just achy and all that business. And then the next day, like that night, I felt better. And I woke up the next day and I was like, still sore and this and that. And I was up for like an hour and the kids wanted to watch a movie. And I sat down to watch a movie and I was like, I just walked back into our bedroom and I laid down and I slept like until like 2 or 4 in the afternoon. I was like, but other than that, I mean, now you just got to get out in the shop, right? That's what I did.
That's what I was just talking about today. I was like, you get to a point of like wanting to just make yourself work and be productive, even if you don't feel like it, because then at least you're getting something done. But yeah, I've been trying to take some space and not feel like I need to be overly productive all the time. So.
And you know, I mean, that's definitely a good place to be occasionally. A lot of times, what I do is, like the keychains that I have to make. That's an ongoing thing, right? So I'll be unmotivated to do anything, but I'm like, I got to get some keychains out today. And so then I'll go out in the shop and I'll either cut some keychains or put some together or do whatever. And that little hump right there is like enough to get me like in the mood to. So now I have a whole, array of different lenses for the big laser. So I'm playing with those right now. But 1/2-inch plywood with that thing. I cut a sign that was like 10 by 10 all the way through that thing in like 14 minutes. It's crazy.
Nice.
Yes, I love it.
So
and then what?
You just change out your lenses like that easy on your laser?
Yeah. So one of the really nice things about AP laser is like you literally like just kind of unscrew like the neck and pull the old laser, like pull the old lens out and stick the new one in.
That's cool.
So you're still generating the same amount of power, but like the wider the lens, the more focal length you have. So like laser comes down and comes to a point. Hard time doing this on this little screen. Comes to like kind of an axe and then goes out, right? So if you have like a 2-inch lens, that area where it collides and cuts is, let's say, this big. If you have a 4-inch lens, then it's going to be more like this. Now the beam is going to be thicker, but it's still going to be accurate in that plane.
That's cool. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Did you guys get any questions?
I have not had a chance to check questions.
Nope.
So I did not. And Chris did not. Did you get questions?
I didn't actually post it. I mean, I did have like I did post today saying like we were gonna do our second episode, and obviously not in a great mindset, but I did get my inbox or my DMs were like pretty full of people just saying like, hey, you know, hope you're doing good, or like I'm glad you guys are doing this, that kind of stuff. So
right. So I did have I had somebody suggest a topic, but I think well, he suggested something that I'm like, I think that's a full day's worth of like a full episode worth of topic. Dealing with mental issues while having like a health issue as well. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't want to get too much into his shit, but he's got something going on that he's got like some depression and stuff going on anyway, and then he's got some health issues that are making kind of that worse. And I think it's a great topic. I think we need to kind of circle around and talk about that a little bit before we would talk about that. I know you said that you kind of wanted to talk today, Jesse. What?
Did I say that? Shit. I'm just kidding.
Did you not?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
So before, look at that. Like, well, you can't see it, but that's a big ass splinter, dude. Sorry, I worked with pine, and I'm like, oh, I don't miss working with pine. So do you want my sappy story first, or my like good confident story first, and then we'll do one of those, and then you can talk about your thing, and then I'll do the other one.
I want your sappy story.
You want the sappy story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm feeling it
right
now.
We'll do the sap story. So,
do I need tissue?
Let's see. I don't know. Maybe do, maybe don't. I might. It was just so I just the other day, I think it was last week. You and I, the three of us were on a group text. I mean, we're on a group text, but we were all talking on a group text, right? And I was in the car going to get the kids, which is why there's so many like incorrect words because I'm voice talking. But we were like going around and we are just kind of BSing and joking at the same time. And I'm like, I can't remember the last time that I bullshitted with friends like this. And so he's like backstory. So Paige and I, we've always like had friends, but we met this like really good tight group of friends. Man, like it's been at least 10 years ago, probably a little longer now. I mean, like we did everything. We like every New Year's Eve was at our house. We would just any holiday or whatever. I was always barbecuing. People would come over. We'd get drunk and party and do whatever. And we joke with each other, and we always had like an ongoing thread that we were always talking. And then Paige and I had kids, which kind of took us out of the equation because we couldn't do that stuff. And then there was the flood, which didn't help. And then there was COVID, which was right about the time that our kids were old enough to where we could actually have people over and not just have to like constantly watch the children. And by then, like the dynamic had kind of changed. We had, people just kind of had like, just different, like kind of gone their different ways and whatnot. And I was like, whatever, like fucking life happens. And I didn't realize how much I missed that until the other day when we were just casually bullshitting. And I was like, fuck, I haven't done this in forever. I mean, like, especially with more than one person on a thread, like I have friends here and there that will go back and forth, but just to have that kind of like, I just didn't realize how much I missed it until I was in the middle of it. It's kind of nice. There you go. Aw.
Chris, there's yours. Come on.
Oh, right there.
Oh,
Under the beard.
So cute. So cute. All right, that's my sappy story.
That's your sappy story. Is it my turn? Do I have to go now before you go again?
Yeah. Well, Chris can go too, but I figured you would. I figured you might want to go and tell your thing, man. You were talking about your thing.
I was talking about my thing. So I mean, obviously this is Maker's Therapy, and the part of the reason that we all connected was because I was literally trying to get a therapist to get help, and I couldn't do that. Right. So I guess my big announcement for tonight is that I have a therapy appointment on Monday.
Nice. So you have a therapy appointment on Martin Luther King Day. I am impressed.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was funny because when we were scheduling it, she was like, well, the kids won't have school that day. Is that going to be a problem? I was like, no, I'll make it happen. Like, I will. I've never known a therapist that is open anywhere near a holiday ever. Because it's like, I've been in like, I just want to get in and talk to somebody like Thanksgiving week. And they're like, oh, no. We don't do that. She's in Cabo. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Cause I'm like, I feel like I put in like so much time and energy, just, researching and reaching out and doing this and doing that. And like, now that I actually have like a set date, I'm like, shit, I have to deal with some shit. Like,
you will.
Okay, well now I have anxiety. Like,
did she give you any homework, or are you going in cold?
I'm going in cold. I don't know anything. I know she's good.
Well, no. So, I mean, some therapists will like give you homework ahead of time and say like, think about these 3 things or something. It's not, when I say homework, it's not. But and some are just like come in and talk.
Yeah, no, she kind of just said like, like the first 2 or 1 to 3 visits would be like, kind of like getting a grounds of like where we're at and all that stuff, and that we could work from there. That's kind of all she said. So I was like, how long of a list can I bring?
Yeah, well, you know what? Like the thing is, just bring your whole list, because basically what you'll do is you'll say these 5 or these 20 things or whatever it is are bothering me, and the therapist is going to like kind of get you to narrow it down to what's most important to you. You know, like what do you think you need to work on first, and go from there.
She'd be like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, let's start with that one. We'll see.
I don't think they do that. Okay. I'm not sure.
Sure.
Did I tell you that I had a therapist one time that I got angry in a session, and she told me I was making her uncomfortable, and then she like just ended our deals.
Completely?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like,
were you being offensive? You're not wearing
No. The thing that made me mad was she was like, so I have mom issues. Like, I mean, that's not a thing that people don't know. And she kept like asking me about something, and it was like, that doesn't. I can't remember the context now, but I was like, that doesn't really bother me. And she's like, well, what about this? And it was kind of, she kept rephrasing the same question. And I'm like, I don't know if you realize that I know what you're doing, but it doesn't really bother me. And I probably said a little angrier than that, because we'd been doing it for like 10 or 15 minutes. And she's like, I feel like you're being hostile, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's something we really need to talk about. And in therapy, normally if you say that, they just move on. And she moved on, but then she was like, here's the thing. That's probably the first time that I was ever like actually angry in a therapy session with her. And at the end of the therapy session, she's like, I think you've made a lot of progress. Like, I think, I think we just need to go to, like as like I can't think what it is, but basically we don't have to schedule our next session. We can, we could go on as an as needed basis or something like that. And I'm like, I wasn't, I wasn't being, I was not being aggressive. And I know what being aggressive
But I'm not fixed yet.
So it wasn't even that. I disagreed with her. That was the dumb thing. I was like, I got that she was feeling uncomfortable, and I'm like, I'm asking you to stop asking me questions about that. Anyway, so I made her feel bad. Or I made her feel scared.
Or you can be kind of scary with your black fingernail polish.
Says that.
Very offensive.
I know. Well, offensive, I get.
Did Chris have something he was going to share?
John, sure, I can talk about things. No, it's just, I don't know. It's just personally trying to figure out how to move forward in 2023, because 2022 was not a great year for me personally. And, probably should be happier and more grateful, because like Dark Hollow is doing well, but I just disappointed with kind of where I am physically. Like to get back in shape, and I'm finding myself lately pretty down, or throughout the last year, lacking energy at the end of the day. So just some nights where I just want to sit on the couch and watch TV instead of interact with my kids. Unfortunately, we'll put on a show for them, but I want to be a more involved dad is one of my kind of little goals that I set, because I'm kind of disappointed with, and I might be being too hard on myself too, but I'm just disappointed because this is going to sound silly, but I was watching a show called Bluey with the kids.
Oh, I love Bluey.
Yeah. And then I'm seeing how involved the dad in the show is with his kids, and I'm sitting there going, man, like we should be able to do some of that stuff, and I'm just some days.
Okay, wait a second.
Yeah.
Fuck those dogs, man.
Yeah,
no parents are that interactive with their kids.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could do that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Bluey. Bluey's awesome.
Yeah. So it just kind of got me thinking about, I know obviously not being that involved, a bit of it is insane, but just, I think the goal for 2023, I want to be more, family focused myself, and I want to be the best version of myself, so I can be a better dad to my kids. Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm just now learning how to do that. Well, I keep double clicking on an image over here, and it just makes it huge on my screen. I don't think you guys can see it. Like, I would say you probably are being a little hard on yourself, and I think a better thing to focus on is trying to make the time when you guys are, or when you are interacting with your kids, like be fully invested in that time.
Yeah.
Because I know I do a lot of hanging out on the couch with the kids, and they're snuggled up on me, and I love that. But we're not really interacting. Like, we're all on our tablets or something like that, or they're watching TV, and I love all that stuff. But like, yeah, what I like is, at least one time a week to be interactive. Like I try to get them to play Uno and stuff like that, to play like a board game, so we can like have like kind of a family thing where everybody's kind of focused on the game. Because I mean, my kids are nuts. Like, my kids are nuts about their tablets right now. I mean, they're kids, and they want to play on their tablets. And I get that, and so my wife and I go back and forth because she's like she doesn't want to have so much screen time, and like I kind of believe in that, but I also think like the future of children, or the future adults that they're going to be in front of a screen all the time, so they should you should know how to work it. Uh, but yeah, I think like not necessarily focusing on how much time you're not fully invested. Focus more on like one period of time where you're 100% invested. I think that's the way to do it.
Did I tell you guys about my daughter and her reading stuff?
No.
I feel like I talked about this with somebody, but maybe it wasn't you guys. No, she'll be 9 this weekend, but she had a note come home from school saying that she was in not a special reading group, but she was put in a reading group because of her level. And so I took that and I was like, oh, my kid's not going to be a bad reader. Like, we're going to fix this. Even though I'm not a great reader, I can maintain, what I need to and get through stuff, but I don't enjoy reading. So it's hard to, as a parent, be like, oh yeah, you need to be good at this and excel in this. But we started just taking like 20 minutes a night, and she reads to me and I sit with her, and I don't have my phone. I don't have it's just me and her, and we do this reading. And I didn't realize it for a few weeks, but it was so important to her that we were doing that. Like, she went to her dad's house and was like telling him how excited she was that she has this 20-minute block of time once a day with just my full attention. So yes, Chris, I think you probably are being too hard on yourself. I think a lot of us are, but I think the one thing that kids like pick up on is like, especially with phones, is like putting your phone down and just like full attention. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. I mean, I'm making her read because I want her to be better at reading, but it seems to be important to her. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So we haven't done it as much because it was easier to do it when they were in what's the not school,
pre-K.
Pre-K. We used to do a day. So I guess Caige's mother always did a thing where she would have a day with each one of her kids where they got to pick whatever they wanted to do and they go out and do it. And the thing is, man, the twins are together all the time. I mean, they're in separate classes, but they see each other at school. They're around each other all the time, and they get along, which is fortunate. But so we started doing like daddy daughter day and mommy daughter day and daddy Sunday type thing, and they love that show. And that's when that's anytime I do daddy daughter day with Tavi, she wants to get her nails done and she wants to pick my color.
I love that for you guys. So Chris, you were talking about your health though.
Well, I'm just it's more physical for me, because I used to be a lot more fit, so I want to get off some weight.
Yeah, you and me both, brother.
Is one of my stress coping mechanism things of 2022 seems to be eating. So I ate my stress, and that was not great. So I'd like to get back into this better shape and be more focused on not stupid coping mechanisms like stuffing my face.
What does like a healthy change like that look like for you?
I want to get back more in a routine. I used to get up every morning at 5 and do some form of workout, whether it was hitting the elliptical or weights or whatever. So I've started setting an alarm and reminders in my phone to just get my ass out of bed and get in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I I hit a mile marker that I never wanted to hit. I'm over 200 pounds, and I should not be over 200 pounds. I never thought I would get there. And the thing is, like, I'm not saying other stuff hasn't had anything to do with it, and getting older doesn't help. But I've consistently, since the kids were born, I've consistently gained weight. Now, in the last probably year and a half, probably the majority of that, but it's just been hard. So excuse me. So I'm like doing all the things right now to try to combat that.
Yeah.
Got myself a little program that I'm on.
What program are
And
you
then
on?
I'm on Noom.
Oh, you subscribed.
I did. It's supposed to be the whole thing is it's supposed to kind of approach it from like kind of a more psychological angle.
Mhm.
And it's pretty interesting so far because it's not really they don't and it's designed to kind of like as you progress, it gets, not, I don't want to say more rigid, but like in the beginning, they're just like, okay, well, just try not to eat more than this amount, you know, and then you've got little lessons that you listen to each day. And the thing is, anytime I've ever tried to do any of that, I just fuck off all the stuff. Like I'm like, okay, I'll do your program, but I don't want to listen to you talk because why? Why would I do that? So this one, like, you spend, I think it's 9 to 12 minutes a day. You've got like some just little things that you learn, and you sit there and you can listen to them, you can read them on your phone, and then you track your weight, you track your meals, and I guess that, well, the other thing you track is your lessons. And I gotta say, so far, it's nothing I don't know. It's nothing about diet or exercise that I didn't know, but the psychology component to it is very interesting because it's like, um, instead of, let's see, I'm trying to think of a good one off the top of my head. Um, like basically, like try to instead of trying to punish yourself for like the fact that you overate one day or something, you should be more likely to just kind of reward yourself when you stayed like within your calories, because we respond better to positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. And I was like, man, I never really thought about it that way, but it makes sense. And um I've always, like, anytime I'm trying to watch my diet, and like I will have a day where I'm eating that fucking cheeseburger. Like, it just happens. But the problem is, in the past, I've always eaten that cheeseburger and then just like ate everything in the fucking house after that. Like, just like, oh well, I already went off the rails and might as well, make it count. And probably eaten, another 15 to 2,000 calories more than I wouldn't have normally. And
So you hit the fuck it switch and you're like, burn this place down.
exactly. And I'm starting to learn that that's probably not the best way to do things. And so one of the things they teach you is you're gonna mess up. And see, I come from, like, way back in the day, but I come from, like, a personal training background and stuff like that. And nobody ever said that. No, nobody was ever like, you're gonna have a bad day. Everybody's like, you eat 2,000, 2,500 calories, whatever, a day. You eat this, and this. And if you screw up, like, you're back to zero. Like, you have to start all over. And it's one, that's not true. But it's kind of nice to hear it too, because and I get it, from like coming from a personal trainer background and being on the giving end of that, you, like, you're negging your girlfriend, right? You're making sure you're saying if you do this, bad things are going to happen because you don't want your client to go eat a fucking cake.
In one sitting.
When, huh?
In one sitting.
Yes.
You're like,
when,
how does I do?
and the problem is, and again, in that environment, like you really usually only have about 3 or 4 hours with somebody a week. You have no control over what they're doing the rest of the time. And when it's your job, like you feel bad when people don't like lose weight, and then you have people coming to you, and the big thing is, clients lie, people lie. Of people that are trying to lose weight, usually for the first time, and not everybody, but a lot of them lie. Like, well, they get on a scale and they're 3 pounds heavier, and you're like, well, did you have a cheat meal? Did you eat? Like, no, I followed my diet directly. You're like, eh. Anyway, so I get where like that mentality came from like fitness industry is like scare the shit out of them until they won't stray. But then I have this little thing in my pocket that talks to me and tells me throughout the day that it's okay, like it backs me off the cliff a little bit, and it's refreshing. And yeah, so I mean, so far I'm a huge supporter of Noom.
Aww.
Nice.
I don't really I don't like the hardcore, strict anything. I don't know. I did last year, towards the beginning of the year, I got a book. It was called The Artist's Way. And it's like it's a journal, it's like a workbook. It kind of touches on like, your issues and stuff, and like kind of reaching into the past a little bit, but it implements like daily journaling, being active and like all these things. And I was talking to my coworker about it the other day, and I was like, I felt like with that book, I set myself up for failure because it didn't feel attainable. So it was like, oh, you wake up early every morning. That's great. Okay, I'm going to start doing that. But then if I would sleep in like on a Saturday or a Sunday and I wouldn't get that workout in, and I didn't do my journaling that morning, then I'm like, well, shit, now I'm, now what? So I'm okay, start back on Monday. And then, but it's every time that you didn't make those little goals, it just like brought me back a little bit more and a little bit more. And I didn't actually finish it. I mean, spoiler alert, I didn't finish it, but.
So I have a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
And I have a suggestion for everybody here, by the way. And and this is aside from this, my wife actually turned me on to it. She got me a book called Burn After Reading. And what it is you read the first 3 pages or something. It kind of explains you how the book is. And it's like, it's kind of an adult workbook, right? And then what you do is you just randomly flip to pages. And the thing is, well, I guess basically the idea behind it is that you have to be brutally honest with yourself. So that's the reason you're going to burn this after you, is it burn after writing? It might be burn after writing. Anyway, burn after reading. It's reading. But you are supposed to be brutally honest with this in the sense that nobody else is ever going to read this, right? And then so you read the first 3 pages, it kind of explains some things, and then you just page to a page in the book, and there is different things. Some of them are questions, some of them are like kind of survey type things, some of them are like, there's one thing in there that's like, have you ever seen the the how naughty are you quizzes? Like, have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been drunk? And blah blah blah. You fill them out, and then I'm always like, it's always like out of 50, I'm always like 49 of them. but some of the stuff is like that in there. But the thing is, like, some of them ask you, like, what, like, and the one sticks out to me. It was like, if you, like, if you had to pick a family member sacrifice, who would it be? And you have to. And it was like, okay, and like the kind of things that you don't want that family member to know, right? And so the idea is, after you fill out the entire book, you burn it, because like now you've come to terms with all these things within yourself, and you obviously don't want anybody else to read it. But so far, I'm like, damn, that is a good question. Like, it resonates, and it makes you think, and it is not, it's not anything like Jesse said, that like it's like you're not living up to expectations.
Right.
I mean, you're just answering questions, and I like it. And it was so she asked for one for Christmas, and so I got her one, and she got me one, and I didn't know what it was. And I'm digging it so far.
Okay, so
And
here's my
yeah,
question.
yeah.
My question is, did you get the black edition? Did you get the pink edition?
There's like a
The
million.
Celestial edition
The one I have has like
matches
green
on it.
trees on it, I think.
There's a purple with cats.
That's not the one I have. I don't remember exactly what mine looks like, but it does have matches in the front. But I think they all have matches in the front, don't they? And I think, well, I can't tell you if they're all the same, but I would think it's similar.
That would actually be kind of cool if they were all different. So you get a different book, then you have to answer different stuff.
Oh, you're gonna do it again?
Yeah.
That would be cool. That'd be interesting. But then I would think, man, whoever's putting those out, you got to come up with some questions, boy, because every page has 2 or 3 items on it, and it's kind of sectioned out into like future you and now you and I think past you, but you're not really even supposed to pay attention to that. You're supposed to open up to a page and do your thing. So these guys are talking over on the side, and I've been kind of watching. Does anybody have like anything you want us to address? I am like completely out of fluid, so I'm gonna run downstairs real quick and refill. Can you guys like just, if I need to pop a question up on the screen or anything, or talk amongst yourselves?
No, go for it. So I'm looking at David. He's talking about internal dialogue and not being very kind to himself. When he says something negative, and tell myself 2 nice things, good things about me. I love that.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Here, I'm gonna throw that up so you can see it.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'll be right back.
Chris, how are you with negative self-talk?
I am my own greatest critic.
Right.
That's probably one of the things I struggled with in 2022, is I would get in my own head even when it came to projects, and there's certain projects that I would just walk away from for a couple weeks, that I could have easily powered through, but I convinced myself that I didn't have the ability or was good enough, I think was the main issue, to finish some of the projects. So it takes a while. Sometimes I had to just jump on another project and do kind of similar stuff to like remind myself. But yeah, that's definitely one thing that I definitely struggle with is positive self-talk. I very easily deflect and make fun of myself, but it's definitely not good. One thing I'm trying to do this year moving forward is not so much positive things about myself, although that is a really good idea. But I've been trying to focus on when I have a bad day, and trying to focus on every day really is just pick something positive from that day. Like even when the whole day seems like seems like shit. Like what is like one moment that was positive? Because I'm trying not to let the negative
Right.
outweigh the positive. Yeah. So something like the other day, something as simple as just like the whole day was crap, but having breakfast with my daughter, that was a fun moment, and just tried to hold on to that throughout the day.
Yeah.
So how are we doing? Like, I don't want to jump in the middle of something.
No, I think I just finished.
I think that's good though. I mean, I think that when it's like, I mean, it must be different being a self-employed person now. But it's like taking that same kind of motto of like, well, if you have issues going on at home, don't bring those issues to work, and vice versa. You kind of want to like compartmentalize those things, and these issues stay here, these issues stay here, but it doesn't always. So I think it's good to just like pause and think and be like, this is a good today. And even if it's helpful.
Did you move on from this question to this one?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you just like you said, business otherwise. No, I was just curious. How do y'all deal with anxiety and stress of trying to start up a maker business? Not well, not well at all. Here's what I do. I have like I make sure that I still have a schedule that I have to adhere to. So I know that certain things have to happen at certain times. Because if not, I can ball up on the couch and my anxiety will like keep me there. So it is nice that I get up in the morning and I have to take the kids to school, right? So that's the thing. So ideally I get up and I work out, which and Chris was talking about this, and like I've not been as rigid about this as I used to be in the past, but I've always said this. My headspace is always 10 times better if I get up and I do something physical in the morning. And I don't mean like you don't have to go like throw weights around at the gym. You don't have to go run a marathon. Like getting up and walking is enough. But it's like, and especially if you can do it outside, like clear your head real quick. That is, if I can make myself do that in the morning, I'm already going to have a better day. Then I don't know. I have all the stress and all the anxiety. I don't always talk about it. But I like I said, I make sure that I have certain things that I have to do certain times. So I take the kids to school, and then I come home, and mainly Monday. I mean, it's every morning, but like Monday mornings are always the long one where I spend a lot of time on my computer, responding to people, talking to brands, doing that kind of thing, weeding through like the thousands of freaking garbage emails I get that are like, hey, we want you to wrap something for us. And that's a thing, you know, so I know that I'm going to do that until X amount of time. And then usually on Mondays, usually on Mondays, I do that until lunch, because especially now with like my Etsy store, I muddle through emails, and then there's usually some catching up that I have to do with the Etsy store. And I, you know, when I do my expenses and all that stuff, and then lunch happens, and then I try to go immediately from lunch out into the shop, unless I have, you know, to pee. And then I go out there and I just try to busy myself out in the shop. This is if I don't have anything to do, or I can't motivate myself something to do. I normally have something to do. But the thing I don't want to do is veer off from the kitchen counter and actually go sit on the couch when I could have walked into the shop, is what I'm getting at. So I think the thing is, I mean, like when you have your own business, you're responsible for taking care of your own shit, you know? So it's like, yeah, everybody thinks that you're going to be sitting around in, you know, your sweats from the computer all day playing video games, which I do. I'm not gonna lie, you know. I mean, there's days where I'm like, fuck, I'm not feeling it, and you know what? I am the boss, and like the big shit's been done, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna play Ninja Must Die. It's my new one.
We could all be wearing sweatpants right now. You just would have no idea. We could all be wearing sweatpants right now, and you just have no idea. It's fine.
I definitely am.
Are you really?
You guys are,
oh yeah.
You guys are wearing pants?
Oh boy.
Wearing pants.
I didn't realize it was a below the waist video.
I was looking at along those lines. I was like, it says, how do you deal with procrastination that eats me alive every day? And it's kind of along the lines of what you were just talking about. I had a video that I needed to post yesterday. And just being in the mindset that I've been in for the last couple of weeks, I just put it off, but it was a paid partnership thing. I don't even have to post a video to my own account, but my due date was yesterday, and I think I submitted it at like 8:00 last night. And I wasn't feeling it at all, but it was what it was.
So the thing is with that, to me, is just it's about goal setting, which is what I kind of wanted to talk about that tonight. Anyway, I don't know how much we're going to talk about it now because it's kind of late. But I hate New Year's resolutions because New Year's resolutions like give you an out, right? Like I made a New Year's resolution to lose weight. I lost weight the first week, the second week, and then I didn't, and then I fell off the wagon the third week. Well, New Year's resolution over, right? Goals can continue. So, like a lot of procrastination to me is lack of goal setting. And when I say goal setting, I don't mean like they don't have to be lofty. A lot of times when you first start goal setting, you should set very easy to meet manageable goals, because that's going to be your positive reinforcement, right? Like, okay, today is James. James, I don't know if you're your own boss. I can't think of it. Self-employed. Shut up. But like, you know, when I started out, because when I started out, I quit my job earlier than I thought I was going to, where it's not making the money that I wanted to, and I really didn't know what I was supposed to do, or what I needed to do that. But I did know that I needed to reach out to people and see if they would if they would either sponsor me or become affiliates with me. So I would set myself like a goal that I'm gonna research 5 tools today. It wasn't even that. Like, well, actually, it was that. Like, I want to research like 5 tools that I dig, right? And then I want to like find one of those tools, and then I want to find all the manufacturers that make that, and then I'm gonna send them all a letter asking if they want to work an affiliate deal with me. And I would just do that over and over and over. And I used to keep a spreadsheet because I was always afraid that I was going to go back and start like going down one of those rabbit holes again or contact the same companies. And I'm sure I did a couple of them. But that was in the beginning. My procrastination was I didn't have any, not that I didn't have anything to do, but I didn't have anything that I absolutely had to do.
Yeah.
So it was really easy to fuck off. So I started making things that I had to do. I made it a thing that I had to do that day. And I think that's how you get over procrastination, especially if you're self-employed, because you know what? The bills still get paid here. Like I got a sugar mama, right? Like my wife makes enough money to pay the bills, and the bills still get paid here if I don't do any. Like if I don't get paid today. My thing is I want to get paid today.
Right.
But you know what I mean. So like I guess I had a little bit of an easier time of it, which probably made that a little bit harder to distinguish, right? Like um, what like well maybe I just don't do anything today. And a lot of that, like I have realized that I was doing things, but I wasn't doing 9 to 5 things, which I think is another thing you have to understand if you're your own boss. Sometimes I don't do anything till 10 in the morning, but usually I work until 6. And I work a couple hours at least on the weekend days. Or I have an evening thing like this. Like I have another one tomorrow. So like tomorrow, so tomorrow's Wednesday. The kids got to school early. I will I will take my morning and I will just do me stuff because I know that from noon on, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna go pick up the kids, and then I'm gonna go do a live stream. So I'm putting in the hours, I'm just shifting. Anyway.
Yeah.
And again, when you're your own boss, and Chris does this too, like you're always you're you're always fucking working.
Yeah.
I try to not be on my phone when we go on vacation, but the thing is, you know what? Nobody responds to the DMs and emails when I go on vacation. They're there when I get back. It's easier for me to respond to them on vacation because then I don't walk into 500 fucking messages
Right.
my first day back.
Yeah, I found for me, when I first started, I was a pretty horrible procrastinator. I think I've always been that way, and definitely setting like deadlines to stuff, even if it didn't really need a deadline. Setting a deadline for the project for myself is kind of like a goal to get it done. Helped, and then a big thing was I pretty easily use my phone as a distraction, whether it's like scrolling through Instagram or TikTok. So I was using that as like a procrastination tool. So what I had to do is I've had to set my phone in like an inconvenient location in the shop where it's literally kind of out of my way to get to, and then kind of not have it on me, because sometimes it can be a pretty bad distraction for me.
I'm working on something that's similar to that. Damn it. Sorry, I'm trying to switch screens. I recently so when my mom died, we just bought her a new phone, so she has like an iPhone 13 or something like that. And what I want to do is make that like a dedicated like social media device just for work, like for shooting videos and stuff like that. Because I always justify the fact that I keep my phone in my pocket all the time as it's another camera. And I'm like, see, but the problem is like I can't tell you how many times I picked up my phone to like shoot a shot or do something, and there's a message on there or something, and then I go check that, and
The rest is history.
And I've wasted a half hour, easy.
I like that idea. I like the idea of having like a separate space. It is hard when all of your stuff is tied in onto like one device that you have with you all the time. But I don't know, is it actually like maintainable to have a second device that it's like, it's this time at night, I am not responding to anything else for the rest of the night?
I don't know,
but honestly.
So what I really want to do, I mean, and I see now I'm trying to put you in there and I'm talking. But I have a really bad habit of sitting on the couch with the wife or watching TV, commercial comes on or something, and I pick up my phone for a second and something work related comes up and I respond usually kind of like in a half-ass manner because it's 8 or 9 at night. I've had a couple of whiskeys. And then I completely forget about that. And so like that person was not well taken care of in the sense that maybe I half-ass answer a question, or a lot of times what I will say is I will look into that. If I don't remember that I said that and the next day and I'm going through and like Facebook Messenger, first of all, if y'all are using Facebook Messenger, stop. This is the most horrible thing. Like I can't tell you, I will open up Facebook Messenger and there will be a message in there that has been there for 2 weeks that I've never seen. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. People contact me on Facebook Messenger. They're like, hey, what about this? Let me look into it. And then like we finish the rookie, we go to bed, wake up the next morning. I have a ton of other shit. And then I've totally forgotten about that. And I won't see that again for days. So what I would really like to do is put like my work social media stuff, contact stuff on a device that I can set down and leave it.
Not look at it when you're drinking whiskey?
Yeah. Yeah. And see, man, and people irritate me a little bit more when I've been drinking. Well, so okay, I'm not gonna I don't want to say that I get dumb questions, but I get a lot of Googleable questions.
Yeah.
And it's from new people, and I get it, and I know I know it comes from like I respect like your opinion type of that kind of place, but I'm like, man, like I. how I have this knowledge base because I like trial and error. When I didn't know how to do something, I tried it or I looked it up.
You Googled it.
Yeah, exactly. And so sometimes sometimes some of those people asking questions, if they get me at the wrong time, don't get a very happy answer.
I just saw, not saw, but a friend of mine on Instagram, he's so busy making signs that he finally just quit taking DMs altogether. He's like, if you want something, you need to email me, period. That's it. Yeah. That is his.
Well, see.
And I'm like, how nice would that be to only get emails? Like everything is in one location. You don't have to like flag this or flag that or try to pull this or be like, wait, what was that person's name from that company? I don't remember. Like, it's crazy.
That's what irritates me anytime somebody starts talking about a new platform that's coming out. I'm like, I don't want any more platforms. People have tried to get me to get on WhatsApp forever. No, just no. What was it? No, not what is it? Telegram? Telegram. Somebody's trying to get me on Telegram. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't like being as accessible as I am. What I would really like you to do is send me a fucking email. You know what I mean? Like, because when you DM me, I don't always sometimes I get it. Sometimes it goes into the like, do you know this person category? I have a hard time keeping track of all of them. I don't think a lot of people realize. And Jesse, like Chris, I don't know if you get this as much as the two of us probably do. Being in social media, like I don't think people realize how many messages I get in a day. Like I shouldn't say respond to. I get like between my DMs, um, and then just comments, emails, all that stuff. I would say 300. I would say minimum 300 a day. Now, sometimes, sometimes the weekends is not bad, but and I'm counting all the bullshit too. I'm counting like the people that are telling me that they're gonna get me 50,000 followers too. But I have to go through all that, and I'm like, so like, I don't mind answering your questions. I love answering questions. I love answering legitimate questions. But I'm like, if you're asking me for speed and power, like on how to cut a board or something like that, I'm like, Google that shit.
You can Google
I'm like,
it.
ask me meaningful questions.
Yeah, I kind of, I don't know when that hit, because there's people I see with like 100,000 followers, and I'm like, I don't know how you keep up with everything just day to day, like messages and stuff like that. Because I feel like if somebody shows up in my inbox, I used to hate being the person that had like the little red bubble that's like, the notification bubble. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you have 10 notifications from this app. Like, I hated that. I always wanted it to be gone. And I am not that person anymore, because if I'm going to open that message, like, I want to be in a space to respond to it. So there is times where it's like, I have the mental capacity to respond to this person, this person, and this person. The rest has to wait for right now. And it sucks,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be the asshole that doesn't respond, or that gives, like you're saying, like half-ass answers to something. If you ask a stupid question, you probably won't get a response, though. I think that's just kind of a thing.
So my thing for the longest time, only on YouTube, was that I responded to every comment. Unless somebody said like, good job or something, other than that, like every comment got a like and a response. And I got to a point where I can't keep up with it. So now a lot of times, unless like if you say something nice, I just like it. And because then it goes out of my box, right? If you ask a question, I try to answer it. If you ask a dumb question, sometimes I just like it. I get sometimes what bothers me is sometimes when people ask me questions about a video that I answered in the video. I'm like, did you watch it? Because either you did and you just didn't get that, or they'll ask me about something in the video and I'm like, it's in the description. I'm like, I thought everybody knew that if you're like, oh, what's this thing this guy's using? Don't you always go to look in the description first to see what it is before you ask the person what it is?
I mean, maybe.
I know some people don't like I know some people don't conform to that, but I feel like the majority of them do. Chris, you gonna say something?
Where are you at with social media? Like, are you?
Where am I at with social media? Is that what the?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have as big a following as you guys, but so I don't have to deal with the that capacity of messages, but I do get some like ridiculous requests. A few months back, somebody sent me a picture of something from the IKEA website, and they said, "Can you build it for cheaper?" And I said, "No, not a chance."
It's so, IKEA.
Yeah,
you go to IKEA for cheap shit.
Yeah. So there's been a couple of that, and I also we were on kind of the conversion van thing at one point. We were advertising that we're gonna do tiny homes out of the shop here, and I had a lady message me, and she specified all stuff she wanted. She wanted a full solar kit, fully applianced, I think she wanted it 40 feet long and 8'6" wide, if I remember correctly. So I was like, great, I'll put together a quote. And I put together the quote and I sent her the quote and she said, oh, that's a lot. That's more expensive than what we were thinking. I said, well, what were you thinking? And she goes, well, I was hoping that you could build me this whole unit for $1,000. And I was like, oh, okay.
Wait, a tiny home for $1,000?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Buy a good tent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like are you going to pay for the materials and my mortgage for a year? Thanks. Cool.
Yeah.
Then we have.
Yeah. So some people come to me with like, they want me to make something for them, and I don't want to. Like, it's something I've probably already made, and I don't want to make again, really. And like there's no value in it for me. Like, if I can't make content out of it too, it's kind of not a waste of it's kind of a waste of my time a lot of times. And so I just I just tell them, I give them a ridiculous number. Yeah. And sometimes it's like, okay, I'm like, all right, damn it. All right, Lo-Fi has a question. Let's see, I recently got my hands on Tool D1, and so far, this is a question for tomorrow, Lo-Fi, but I will answer it for you. Recently got my hands on an Tool D1, and so far using it to make coasters on some cheap white ceramic tiles. Is that a good starting place to start a business? Absolutely. Let's see, like ceramic tiles is good. Slate tiles, if you want to try your hand at slate, you can pick up, I think it's like 48 slate tiles from Michael's if you buy them online for like cheap. It's they're super cheap, like cheaper than I could find them anyplace else. But yeah, I mean, it's good. Have a good product, and don't like, it depends on what you're putting on the coasters. Like, don't put copyrighted stuff on the coasters. But it's not a bad place to start.
Nice.
I'm reading. Sorry.
Me too.
This is true, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Time. Oh dear.
Who's X-rated coasters?
I know. I was like, wait, what?
Frank, you dirty bastard.
I on the whole topic of like the new year and stuff, I was gonna interject and say I hate resolutions so much. I feel like the biggest like bah humbug when it comes to anything Hallmark holiday. I can't. I'm like, why do we buy cards and chocolates and flowers for people that we love to tell them we love them like one day a year? Like, shouldn't you be doing that all the time? I mean, I love Thanksgiving because I love food, but aside from that, just, I don't know, be with your people throughout the year. And why does it all have to be on a certain day? Why does January 1st have to be the day that you make a big change in your life? Like, you should be constantly working on making changes in your life, which is maybe why I just didn't do this year at all.
Yeah, so I think the new year is the great time to start new habits or start new goals and stuff like that. But I don't like the resolution thing. And no. Wolf, if you want to do that, you got to do it on a fiber. I don't think you can engrave. I don't think you can engrave copper with a diode. Huh?
You could do it on a CNC.
Oh yeah. No. I'm just like, I don't think you can do it on a diode, and I'm pretty sure. Have you tried a whole lot of metals on? You've got a CO2, right, Jesse?
Yeah, I haven't done any metal on the laser. I've only done Aluminum. I did aluminum on the CNC. I cut that and broke like more bits than I want to ever admit to.
But so Wolf, check out the M1 video I did. It's like a 2-watt fiber laser, and that'll engrave on all sorts of different metals. Okay. So let me tell you so this is 2 things. One, y'all have a theme song, right? Not a theme song. Y'all have like the song that pumps you up in the head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So I hate Machine Gun Kelly, but Bad Motherfucker is a good song. That's the song that's in my head whenever I have to go do something crazy. But I'm gonna leave you guys with this story, and if anybody else has any questions. My wife and I went on a bike bar pub crawl, right? So we were on our mountain bikes and we went around to some different bars, and like a pub crawl. You have some beers and you go to the next one. And one of the places we went to is an ice house here in Houston. That's it's kind of a well-known biker bar. But some of the it's like a motorcycle biker bar. But some of the bike people, the cyclists that we were with, knew some of the people there. So we went there. It's a pretty cool time. And when we were there, it turned out that one of the guys that Paige worked with was like, I don't know if she knew or not, but he was in a motorcycle, like he's not a gang, it's like a motorcycle club or whatever. But he was there, and like a bunch of his biker gang was there. I didn't realize how confusing this was going to be with all the bikes, but motorcycles, bicycles. Well, to get over there, we had to ride across this like pretty busy road that's like 6 lanes over, and where we were, there was no good place to cross. Like we just kind of had to go over one at a time. So I guess the head of this guy's club was there. He's just like this long, lanky, just skinny. Like if you looked at him, you're like, dude, that guy's a bike. Like he's a biker. Like long gray hair and just like this real tall, skinny guy, leathers. And we were getting ready to leave, and it gotten dark. And everybody's a little worried about crossing the street again. And he's like, don't worry, I got it. And this guy stood up, and I watched him walk from the bar up the grass, out into the road, stopped 6 lanes of traffic by himself, did not lose cadence when he was walking out there. Like, I don't even know if I could show it, but he's like, toot, 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 and he just walks out and he's like, and everybody fucking stopped. And I was like, that guy's either insane or the most confident person I've ever seen. And after and having talked to him, I'm like, I don't think he's insane. And anytime I feel kind of like tail tucked, like I can't do this, I think of that motherfucker. He didn't hesitate before stepping onto traffic and like literally just like, and everybody fucking stopped. And one day, I want that guy's confidence. One day,
it's like a come to Jesus moment.
it was straight out of a movie. It was. I can't describe it any other way than he just walked out and did it. And he sat there and he held traffic, and all of us crossed the thing, and I was like, that's just real. I'm still crazy. Who said Baby Got Back? Baby Got Back is not your theme song. Come on. Maybe it is.
I don't think I have a theme song. I think I just have like playlists that really pump me up.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have playlists, but Bad Motherfucker is my, like, I have to get into this headspace. All right, guys. Does anybody have any final thoughts today? I keep forgetting that I really need to like start this by saying we are not therapists, and we our opinions are our own.
Yeah, I need the disclaimer.
I was actually thinking about this today. It was like we should have like an opening where it's like we are not medical professionals. We are just
was literally looking it up before it started, and then Chris is on, and I started talking to him, and I totally forgot about it.
Oh my gosh. I love what we're doing here. Like for me, especially, I mean, maybe it's just like my headspace right now, but I don't know what part of my story can help people. I want to be able to share more about certain things. So I hope we get more feedback from people. I hope people will comment and say like, hey, this is what's going on, or I struggle with this, or whatnot. That way we have more stuff to talk about. But I'm like, I don't know what direction you want me to go, because there's a lot of them. Just pick one and give me something, and I can kind of speak to stuff. But I don't know. I guess that's just like me being maybe having imposter syndrome and being like, hey, come on, give us
no I feel like people need I feel like people need to get to know us a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll see more questions.
I think so too.
Like you saw, I mean, like especially in the first one, people were like, I'm confused, like, why aren't you guys talking about lasers? So I think it'll take a little bit of time. And honestly, I was still playing catch up, and I didn't get my feelers out as much as I really wanted to. But yeah, so if you guys have something, you audience people, some people, if you make myself big, I am big.
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments, or I mean, you can always DM any one of us. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or you can always DM any one of us, and we will we'll address it on the next the next episode. And I mean, if one of you guys wants to like come on, I can always bring you on as a guest too. We can bullshit. So we can do this in many different ways. But I feel like I feel like us three need to be vulnerable first, and then that'll be a little bit more forthcoming.
I just need to know what to be vulnerable about, because on any given day you can catch me on something. One day you guys will hit my feelers, and Jesse will be over here like it'll happen, I'm sure.
All right. It could happen to me too. You never know. All right. Well, then I think I'm going to call it for the night. It is it's kind of late. We've been on for like 2 hours, haven't we?
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, hour and a half. I'm sorry. I'm at 7:30. I don't see any like questions popping up. If you guys have a question or you think about something in the next couple of weeks, let us know. You can always DM me at build, or email me at my places and whatnot. You can harass these guys if you want. Their Instagrams are down below. Blow them up. If you're not following them, follow them. And I will say, I don't know. What are we thinking? Like, do you guys think like once a month, unless we see more need?
I think once a month. Once a month, twice a month. I mean,
I feel like once a month, if we start seeing it build, then we can definitely do more episodes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sound about right?
I think that's great. And maybe we can
Okay.
work on like more structure, but it's us, so.
Damn it, Jesse.
You did it.
You have no idea who I am, do you? Structure. Look behind me. Look at all of this. Like, come on. No, you're probably right. If you want to figure out what that structure is, feel free. But no, I agree. We should have segments and all that good stuff.
That'll be good. I like it. I appreciate you guys.
All right, guys. So good seeing you guys. So I guess February will be next time around. We'll figure out when, because I'm assuming that like the second week is probably like Valentine's Day and maybe. Well, actually, Valentine's Day may be a good time to do it around, right? Well, people get
Yeah.
Come hang out with
Panties
us.
bunched
Don't
and
hang out
whatnot.
with your loved ones. It's fine.
No. I don't mean like do it. Yeah, fuck them. No, well, I guess the first Tuesday of February is. We'll discuss this later.
Okay.
Damn it. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Remember that I am doing a live tomorrow as well. It will not be nearly as touchy feely. We will probably be lasering some shit. And I want to say thanks to Chris and Jesse for coming out and hanging out. And Happy New Year to everybody. Actually,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right, guys.
Peace.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.